Sirve.
Yeah.
Yo, 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 yo. What's happening? What's happening? How you guys doing out there? Welcome to Voodoo Woods. The Woods is behind the scenes right now, you know? And he's here. He's here. He's doing his thing like always. But today we've got none other than El Sancho for you right now. You know what I mean? What's up, Sancho? How you been, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm on the show for some time. It's just that the timing had been off, but I'm so happy to have you on. Uh, I'm so interested in knowing about El Sancho, about knowing who he is, where he came from, the whole shebang. So I hope you're ready to deliver an epic interview of epic proportion right now, man.
Well, so,
hey,
well,
but tell you
you
what,
already know me, bro.
hey man, hey, that's exactly why I got you on. So tell you what, man, why don't we let's go back to the beginning, man. Let's go back to the beginning. Where tell people where you come from. Tell us everything from the very beginning. How old are you? You know where you from? I want to know everything about you.
Well, I'm originally from Fresnillo, Zacatecas, Mexico. I'm 33 years old, and I think I was 18 or 19 years old when I saw my first amateur fight. Was actually youth of MMA, University of MMA, and I remember seeing those guys fighting. I was like, I can do that shit, you know. And that's kind of like, honestly, I honestly feel that the reason why I started fighting is because I went to U of MMA, University of MMA, and I liked the show. I knew they were amateurs, but I liked the way they had their show, so that's what got me going into it. And then I looked for a jiu-jitsu place, and I everything started from there, you know.
Fantastic, fantastic. So, wow, man, 1819 was when you of MMA was your first show that got you into mixed martial arts. That is fantastic, man. So now this jujitsu place that you found, what was this jujitsu place, and how did it impact your career?
You know what? I was lucky enough to I actually just go. I mean, you know me. I always try to like I always try to find the not like money wise, no, but I always try to find the best. Whatever I'm doing, I try to find the best people around possible to learn from them. You know. So I Google the mixed martial arts, but I Google like for like reviews and all that, and I found this R1 gym with Rico Chapirelli. I don't know if you're familiar with him,
Not
and
really.
that guy was key to. I mean, everything I learned with that guy to this day is what is like keeping me like you know surviving or I just feel like everything I learned from him is really the base for my fighting style and everything. You know? He does a lot of like
That's what's
base
up.
and fundamentals techniques that till this day that's all I think that's all I know, to be honest with you. I'm just better and faster at it, but I think I'm just it's the same thing that I learned from him. I'm just better at it. But it's like I was lucky enough to find Rico, and then after that I did boxing in Mexico since I was little. I did boxing in Mexico, did a bunch of amateur fights in Mexico boxing, and so when I was already training jiu-jitsu, I already knew I have hands because I already trained years before, you know. But I never thought I was gonna be able to like kind of like pursue the fighting career at all.
Hmm.
Then after 2 3 years training with Rico Chaparelli, I decided to open my own gym, which was called LB Fight Shop in Long Beach. But I
Mm.
did it mostly for the business side. That's honestly what I did it for. I was always looking to see how can I make money and how can I make business basically. And I knew I can teach people boxing because that's what I learned when I was little. So I opened my own gym. with no credentials. Like I knew people that had gyms around my gym will ask, "Who the fuck is this guy? You know why he's teaching people, what he has done, like where he has compete." So that's when I'm like, okay, I gotta compete because then people are gonna be like, that way I'm gonna have credentials, you know. So when I teach people and they say, "Who are you?" Well, this is me, you know. I'm fighting and then I was I was fighting for like a 5 6 years an amateur, and at the same time I was fighting, I was teaching people, you know. And honestly, my spot my training partners were my students. You know what I mean? That's where I think my technique got so much better because I was teaching them something that I wasn't even good at it. You know what I mean? So I keep doing um I keep teaching them the techniques that I was pretty much be able to use in the real fight. So then from there, I think I did like 8 9 fights with no corner. My corner was a homie and a friend that knew nothing about fighting. You know what I mean? I was just there as spar stars. I did like 9 fights with no corner at all. I didn't have no corners.
Wow.
I didn't even knew like anyone. You know. And my first fight was Chase Gibson. Chase Gibson was my first amateur fight, official, because I did like 6 7 smokers. So Chase Gibson was my
Mhm.
first amateur fight, and so we kind of like we went at it. You know, he kind of knew that I was good, you know, because Chase Gibson is a beast, so he knew I was good too, you know. So he kind of gave me that respect always. Every time I would see him, he was always cool with me. You know, he never really made me feel like we were like he made me feel like we were like kind of like a co-workers, you can call it. Like, you know what I mean? We're in the same business. We fight each other, but we don't hate each other. You know what I mean? It's just part
Mhm.
of the show. And then
It's business.
on my 9 fight I spar start, I my corners left me because
What?
I'm very sometimes I tend to be rude and I'm not the sometimes I'm not the nicest guy. You know, I say things without really thinking, and a lot of people got like, you know, they just have like, you know, they're like in their feelings. And that night I don't know what I said, but I know I said something and they didn't like it, and they left me. Like literally 2 fights before my fight, they left me, and I was like, "Fuck! Now what I'm gonna do?" And Chase was there, so then I asked him, "Hey, can you corner me?" And Chase was like, "Fuck yeah, man! I corner you." And I said, "Fuck it!" And he's like, "What do you want to work on?" I was like, "I don't fucking know." You know what I mean? Let's just fuck. And one thing that Chase knows, I never warm up for any of my fights. I would not warm up because I didn't. Like I said, I mean, I was just a guy like kind of like doing it on his own. You know, I didn't really have like guidance, or I didn't really have anyone to tell me what to do, what not to do. And that was the first
Mhm.
time I ever warm up. Chase told me like, "Well, let's work on some striking, whatever." So then we went to the fight. I submit the guy in the second round with a number, and after the fight was done, he introduced me to Chad George, and that's how I started at CMMA. You know what I mean? Chad George invited me
Mm.
to CMMA. I went on a weekend. It was a Saturday sparring.
Mhm.
They used to do sparring on Saturdays, and I went there, and I just felt like that was the place for me to. That was kind of my home, you know. And I haven't trained in any other place but CMMA since then. I did like
Mm.
7 8 more fights as an amateur with CMMA, and then I turned pro with CMMA, and that's where I been since then. You know.
That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic. That's an awesome, intense story. But I want to dig a little bit further. I want to go back to your first influence. Who influenced you into boxing? What got you into combat sport originally in the first place? And how old were you again when you got into combat sport?
When I started doing boxing, I was 12 years old,
12 years old.
and the reason why I got into boxing is because I have a big mouth. You know what I mean? And my mom used to tell me that I was gonna get beat up on every corner because I had a big mouth, and I was really skinny and short. And I was always confident, but I got my ass beat times before that, you know. So I was still confident, but I knew I can fight. So that's what it got me into. Like I gotta learn how to fight, and that's what it got me into boxing. I would say I was a bully, but probably I was. And then after I learned how to fight, I think I became less than an asshole. I was more like a fucking asshole before in that. But once I knew how to fight, I think I was more relaxed, because I knew I can beat him. So there was really no competition for me because I'm very competitive. If you tell me let's go get a hamburger and let's go run, I'm gonna fucking try to beat you, just because that's my nature. That's how I am. I'm a competitive person. No matter whatever the scenario is, I'm always trying to win. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I will always say the person that kind of got me into fighting or knowing how to defend myself was my mother, because my mother was really
Wow.
like straightforward with what she said to me. She knew I was a piece of shit. I was not a like not a lot of people want to be around me because I was those kids that I was just not a nice kid. I was really like annoying, disrespectful, and to other kids. But I never really, like I said, I never really thought I was gonna be a professional fighter at all. Everything started because I didn't want to like get beat up because I got beat up before for not knowing how to fight.
Mm.
So that's kind of what it got me into combat sport was the pure feeling of knowing how to fight. That was it. Because like I said, I have a big mouth because I'm pretty much I think I'm overconfident in a lot of things. That's how I am. I'm just confident. Well, no matter what I do, I probably don't know shit about it, but I'm gonna tell you I know because that's just my nature. So that's kind of what got me into fighting. Just the competitive spirit that I have, on anything.
Mm.
And fighting is like it's kind of like my. I mean, this last year that I didn't fight, I honestly feel lost. I feel like it's always good to have fighting on my life. It's always something that keeps me like on track and keeps me like when I have a date, I wake up every day planning my day to be able to train. So when I do that, I feel my life is easier because I'm a guy that I'm all over the place. My head is always dreaming and flying. So fighting gives me that feeling of like what I mean. I think I'm really not scared. I'm not a scared guy. I don't get scared easily. Like nothing really scares me. Fighting does. Fighting does scares me.
Wow.
But nothing really like
That's
there's nothing that really scares me. You ask me to do something that I have never done in my life, and I'll fucking go and do it. I'm not scared of it. But fighting, man, it's something that keeps me on my toes because, like I said, I'm very cocky and I'm very overconfident. But fighting, you can fake that shit. You know what I mean? Fighting
that's
will
right.
if you do that, then that's you can play fighting basically. You know what I mean?
Uh-uh.
But for your answer, like I think it was honestly what got me into fighting was that just don't learn how to defend myself. That's what it was.
That's fantastic. That's so now you're 12 years old. Now you're boxing. You're doing your thing. How many amateur boxing matches would you say you had?
I probably did. I'm sure I did over 30. Yeah, over
Wow,
30
that's
amateur
amazing.
fights. But
Wow.
honestly, in Mexico, like I guess I never really faced a kid that was better than me because I just felt like I'm just like I like to everything I do. I try to do as hard as I can and as I'm trying to be the best of it. You know what I mean? So then after 30 fights, I kind of was like, it's just I didn't really feel the competition anymore. But I didn't know. I mean, where I come from is a really small town. You know what I mean? So I pretty much beat up all the small town, all the towns around. So I beat them up, but I didn't know more than that. You know what I mean? So I thought that was it. I thought for me to become a professional fighter, I had to have sponsors. I have to have people to support me. I thought that's what it was. But now that I'm old, that's not even needed. All you need to do, I always say, fighting is the easiest way to make it in life. You just have to win, and that's the hard part,
Mm,
winning. But
mm,
fighting, dude, if you fucking fight, it's gonna take time. But if you keep fighting and fighting and winning, sooner or later you'll fucking make it. That's
right.
kind of like I think fighting. There's no other fucking direction. You just gotta keep
Mm,
trying and keep trying and keep trying, and it pays off at the end of the when you don't even notice when it's like, oh fuck. Like when I see kids now, they're starting to train the amateurs and all that. I can't believe I went through all that shit. And not because I feel like I'm superior than them, because I don't. But I just
Mm-hmm.
know like it takes. I got so much respect for amateur kids because I know how much it takes to fucking like make it happen. So I think that's when I was doing the boxing matches, and then I feel there was no real competition. Then I kind of stopped. And then I came to United States, and then I was just like I said, I was always trying to see how can I make business, where can I make it, how can I fucking make money. And when I saw the opportunity, when I saw Rico and his gym, and I felt like I have really good connection with the Hispanic community. I feel like if I open a gym on a place where there's a lot of Hispanic community, I thought was
Mm-hmm.
gonna like a good. It was gonna be a good thing, which it was.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean. Like then once I got tired of it, and I closed down the gym like 5 years later.
Okay. So you opened a gym for 5 years and closed it for okay. So now the main thing that interests me so much about you is, of course, your ambition. You know what I mean? You got that go-getter attitude. You nothing is gonna stop you. You're gonna do whatever it takes to get it. Now, what I mean, where did you learn to go and open a gym at such a young age? Like, first of all, I understand it takes a down payment and all that to be able to like. How did you put all that together? I mean, what was your income like to be able to do such a huge thing at such a young age?
Dude, to be honest with you, it's funny because I don't. I was laying down, dude. I was laying down, and and I woke up, and I said I'm gonna open a gym. And I went and drove around and saw the place. The place that I got, dude, was a secondhand clothing store before. And I'm 20. I think I was 23. I don't even remember how old I was. I think I got like $8,000 on my bank account, and I went, signed the lease, and then I started like demolishing the whole place, to build up the gym. But I literally do, and I don't think a lot of people believe this. I literally built my gym, everything, from the floor to the racks to the painting to the sign, dude. The sign, I made my own sign. I made my own racks. I paint the whole. I did everything on my own, dude. Everything. Like when I told this to people, I don't think a lot of people believe me, but I did everything on my own. Like no one really helped me to do it by myself. So to be honest with you, sometimes when I think about it, I don't know what it triggered, dude. I don't. I do a lot of things that I'm like, why the fuck did I even did it? Like I mean, I think that's what I'm. That's the. I'm not really feel. I don't really feel proud about a lot of things, but I do feel proud about the things that I have done on my own.
Mm,
And my gym was one of those things that I literally did it on my own, from scratch to, and it was a successful gym for like 2 years. It was a very successful gym. I was living out of it for 2 years. But then again, my competitive or my attitude, and once I get something under control, then I get bored,
mm,
and then I start fucking paying attention to what I was a paying to what I in the first place put me there. You know what I mean? So once I was doing good with the students, I only have two classes, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. And that was it. And I was making enough money to pay the bills and pay me, which
mm,
people that own gyms knows how hard it is to even make a profit. I
mm,
was making a profit for 2 good years. I did good for 2 years. Like I said, I don't know what I honestly don't know what drives me. That's just how I am. I think I reflect a lot on my mom. My mom was very like a person that will like. I come from a very very poor neighborhood. We were like super poor,
mhm,
and My mom was always that type of person that wants to give us more than what she can afford. And a lot of people will say that was wrong, that was bad, because she was getting us used to things that we cannot afford. She even had us in a school that it was you got to pay every month. It was like a
Private,
private school
private
that
school.
at that time, my school and my hood was 5 minutes walking from my house, literally 5 minutes. The school that I was going to, I got to catch two buses to get there. I got to leave an hour before to get to the school.
Mm,
And I never understood why. I would get mad at my mom. Like, why the fuck you just don't get me in this school? Until time passed by, then I understood like what she did for me, man, was getting me used to things that I could not afford. And I knew that.
mm,
But she was kind of like giving me as I don't even think she realized how much she gave me, with me seeing her have two jobs and get home and cook and get everything ready and then go to the second job, and then I will pick her up at 12:30 p.m. I started driving when I was 13 years old. I started
mm.
driving at 13 years old, and nobody taught me how to drive. I learned how to drive on my own. And this is literally legit shit. No one taught me. No one say this is no. My mom got a car that she asked me, "You know how to drive?" And I said, "Yes." We went. We tried a little Honda '93 Honda
Mm.
four-door car, stick shift. We went. My mom bought it, and I literally learned how to drive in like a day or two. So, like I
Wow.
said, I'm just barely like I feel like I just anything that I put on my head, I make it happen. Whether it takes me a year, 10 years, a day, 2 days, but I know if I do something towards that every fucking day, it's going to happen. I just gotta do
Mm,
something, and you don't even have to do hours of it. Just do one action every day towards that dream that you have, and they just happen. They just happen. They just keep coming and coming. But it's like that's when I learned the when people say hard work pays off for a long time, dude. And I think I just realized this like 3 years ago. I didn't even thought I was I didn't even thought about it. But now it's like it does, dude. It fucking
mm.
does. It's like, and it's not even like I'm like I haven't even make it, dude. I'm still fucking grinding every day. I'm not. I don't even think I'm there. I'm where I wanna be. I'm just grinding and grinding and grinding every fucking day on everything I do, fighting, business, everything. But yeah, I mean, at that age, I really don't know what I mean. There's a lot of things that I don't know how the fuck you know what I mean. I even did it, dude. There was times where I'm like, dude, how the fuck I did this shit? You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like that's kind of the only thing I feel good about myself. The drive that I have.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And clearly, that drive was instilled in you by your mother. And shout out to, shout out to your mom for laying down the foundation to get you where you need to be, for giving you that instinct, that killer instinct to go slay down life as you see fit. And now you, it's 5 years later. It's not that the gym is underperforming. You just got bored and you needed to challenge yourself. Now you need to move on and do something else. So you shut down the gym, and between the time you shut down the gym and the time you ran into your first instructor, wow, what was it? What was the distance between that time? What was the distance between that time? One, exactly what did he add to your game? Can you describe exactly what that man added to your game? What did he add to your boxing? Was it footwork, or was it specific type of kicking, taekwondo, karate, or what was it that he added to your game to improve your game, to make you the fighter that you are today?
Who chat?
Yeah. No. The first
The
instructor.
first one. Oh, the
Hmm.
footwork. The footwork for MMA. The footwork. The base. The footwork. Basically the footwork. He taught me a lot of like things that I mean when you're a boxer you don't really think about, because there's like you only have two weapons and that's the only ones you're using. So your footwork is based on that. But no, the footwork. He'll make me do a lot of drilling, footwork drillings, with for MMA. You know, the way I was standing, it was too close. So he made me have a wider stance. He made me have a lower base with my hips. You know what I mean? To be more heavy on my hips.
Mm,
Um, as a boxer, so you're used to like volume, you know, and short distance, and few boxers fight on distance, and the ones that do are either very defensive or they're just trying to make win fights by points, you know, which is really not
mm,
exciting. The Mexican style was more like going forward, going forward, going forward. But Rico gave me a lot of like instead of just going forward, like picking angles and then seeing up and down with my hips, up and down with my punches. So but he basically added a lot of like um things to my game as far as angles and the way I was doing my punches was morely like with a longer distance. Because when I was a boxer, I was more like I like to get on the pocket and go in with
mm,
that. But MMA, you can really do that. The moment you start going with someone on the pocket, two, three punches, he's gonna shoot for the takedown. Boxing,
right.
they can do that. Boxing
Mhm,
is like it's a back and forward like chess match basically the whole time.
mhm,
You throw a hook, they block it, come back with the left hook. It's just like it's an answer to everything you do. Whether
mhm,
you defending, MMA is mostly like it's really like unpredictable. It's like boxing is more predictable. You know, if you throw a
mhm,
right hand, you make it miss. You know, there's three things that can come: cross or left
mhm,
hook or whatever. Like you know what's coming. MMA is literally it's not. It's just when people say boxing is harder than MMA. I don't think it's harder than MMA. I think it's easier than MMA. It's harder to be good at it because you're only
mhm,
using two weapons.
mhm,
But I don't think it's. I honestly feel I never feel fear to fight amateur boxing. When I start fighting amateur MMA, that's when I was fucking scared. Every single fucking
mhm,
fight, I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" And I just, what the fuck
mhm,
am I doing here? Every single fucking fight. But yeah, Rico added a lot of like, he kind of opened my eyes to like what MMA was. You know?
mhm, mhm. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Okay, now Rico is giving you that footwork. Now, what improved your kick? I've watched you. I've studied you a lot. Um, what improved your kicks? Where did the kicking game come from? Did that come from Chase or CMMA? Or
I
where
think
did the
that come from
kicking come from?
CMMA. No, I think
Mm,
from CMMA. But like I said, I always train a lot on my own. I was always
mhm,
kicking and doing and but I think on CMMA was Chase was a really good kicker. He is a really good kicker. So I trained with those guys a lot, like a lot. So that's kind of like how I pick up my kicking game. You know what I mean? Like and like I said, there's sometimes I do things that I don't know, dude. They just kind of like they just happen. There's not like I'm thinking. I'm just sometimes I just threw kicks and I'm not even thinking. I just feel like I'm very good at when I watch people do something. I'm very good at copying that and just you know what I mean. That's kind of where I feel my talent is as fighter. That I'm good at doing things other people does because like I say, I'm always like if you can do it, I can do it. You know what I mean?
mm.
But
So
I
you're
think it
more
was
kinesthetic. You're
yes,
more of a
yeah,
kinesthetic visual learner. I am the same way too. Fantastic.
yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, growing up, by the way, were you ever a fan of Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or people like that? In regards.
Um, to be honest with you, I have a condition that is called it's ADHD,
Oh, okay, okay.
and it's
Uh,
like I'm not a lot of understands very well that it's not like I'm sick or I'm dumb.
mhm,
I just there's parts of my life that I just like I if I try to remember, it's just like a fucking tornado. You know, I can't
mm,
really focus on a lot of things. You
mm,
get me? Like it's like
yeah.
yeah, there's things that I like that I don't remember. You know, like I was
Mm,
also I was also in the army in Mexico, and I talked very little about it because
mm,
it wasn't good times. You know what I mean? It was not a good experience, and I completely blocked that out from my head. like I don't remember much. You know what I mean? And I think it comes from my condition that there's a lot of things that I don't really feel like I have someone that I look up to. I just, like I said, I'm just more like every day. Every day I wake up, and you don't know what I'm gonna fucking try to do. You know what I mean? I wake up and I have different ideas on my head, and then
Mm.
I mean, I'm all over the place. I'm all over the place most of the times.
Yeah, ADHD, huh? Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, you turned ADHD into a tool of success. Uh, uh, from my experience, hyperactive disorder causes individuals. I've had students who suffered from ADHD, and pretty much they're very impulsive, and this is
Hmm.
what you're describing. They're very impulsive, and it's hard for them to control their behavior in the classroom. But you, in life, you've taken that hyperactivity, and you are actually it's like the ocean, and you're the surfer.
Yeah.
ADHD is your ocean, and you're like, okay, I can't control you, but I'm gonna make you take me where I need to go. So you got a
Exactly.
surfboard, and you're on that surfboard, and you're just carving up that wave, man. This is phenomenal. I knew there was something about you that I found interesting. It was that's our connection. That's our connection.
Yeah.
I have a degree in this, and I started my teaching career actually teaching kids like you.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So this is our connection. This
but
is
you
our
know what?
connection. But that's fantastic, though, man. It's very.
In,
Go ahead.
in Mexico, this is something they not really back
Hmm.
then. They were really not familiar with it. You know what I mean? The
Mm,
one time I stopped talking for like 2 years. I mean, it's not like I forgot how to talk. I just didn't want to
mm-hmm,
talk because
mm,
I just feel like they'll take me to the psychologist, and the psychologist was like, I don't see nothing wrong with him. You know what I mean? Like people couldn't really understand me. Like, and I feel like yeah, few people understand. Like actually, my girlfriend has a kid that has the same condition, so
mm-hmm,
she's able to understand me in little things better, because like I said, few people understand. Like it's not like I said, I'm not disabled, you know what I mean, and any matter. I mean, I'm
mm-hmm,
good, I mean, I know what I'm doing.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm,
what you just described is exactly true. Like I always see something, and on my head is like, how can I make that work on my benefit? Like no
yeah,
matter
yeah.
what the fuck I'm doing, I'm always trying to figure it out how I'm gonna make it work for myself. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
and and having that condition is kind of like, to me, it's honestly a blessing. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
For a long time, people will tell me that was a good thing and this and that. But now the same people that tell me that, they're still on the same spot. And I'm trying to talk down on anyone, but they're
mm-hmm,
still in the same spot they were when I was little. You know what I mean? So it's
mm,
like, I feel that condition gives you, I don't know. It's just like, you just, there's days, dude, when I literally just get home and I'm dead. Like I just go to sleep. Like I can't even
mm,
control because I'm so tired, because I've been pushing myself so hard for like a lot of days, when my body just shuts down, and I just,
mm,
it's like it turns off and boom. And
mm.
it's like that's exactly why. That's why when on the industry that I'm in, on the sign industry, I've been doing good because I'm very creative on that part. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's kind of how
Wow.
fighting too is the same shit to me. It's about being
Mm,
creative. That's how I was able to do the eliminatory role in a fight, by just
mm,
being creative, where by doing
mm,
things like the people don't really do it or try it. You know what I
mm,
mean? So it was only like when people ask me, how do you were able to do the eliminatory role, I don't fucking know, to be honest with you.
mm,
It just fucking happened. The next thing you knew, I was pinning my fucking ass on the canvas on that guy's leg. But that's kind
mm,
of that's kind of how it is when you have this condition.
mm. Hey, uh, you know, from my experience, a lot of students of mine with this disorder, a lot of them they find it difficult to control, to harness. You know, you what you did was you accepted it, and then you tapped into it, and then you were able to steal energy from it. But a lot of my students, they find it difficult to do what you did. What you did is not easy, man. Trust me. It's not easy. 9 out of 10 will get it wrong. You have 1 of 10 that gets it right. So what happens is they get in trouble. You know what I mean? You hear about the school to prison pipeline. The main people who are going from that school to prison pipeline are these kids with attention deficit disorder. You know what I mean? No, there's no one that to help them channel the energy, that excess energy that they have. There's no one there to help them channel it and use it for success like you have. So they end up doing something crazy. And then now they're in juvenile hall. And then now that
Hmm.
you're in juvenile hall, going in and out of juvenile hall becomes okay with you. I mean, before you know it, from juvenile hall, now you're going to La Pinta, you know what I mean? The big
Hmm.
house. And this is the cycle. This is the cycle, you know? Uh, um, I'm looking forward to someone coming up with techniques or services that can help these kids transition like you've transitioned, you know, help them find their gifts, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, you have the ability to dig deep and find things that interest you, and then you channel all that energy towards that thing. Like, for example, that gym you opened, you know what I mean? You took all that energy and you put it towards it, and then you built it from the ground up. You tore it down and you built it back up, and then you had it running. You know what I mean? You ran it for 5 years, and then boom, you're like, what? I'm done with that. On to the next one. You know what I mean? Not a lot of kids can do that. And I'm very, very proud and happy that you were able to find your talent and tap into that energy. I mean, that I wouldn't even call it a disorder, man. I would call it more of an innate ability that isn't granted to everyone. Not everybody has this energy. Unfortunately, some people don't know what to do with it. It's like fire.
Hmm.
Fire, you can use it to mold. You can use it to mold and build and like samurai swords. You can create something beautiful with it. You know what I mean? Or you can let it burn your house down. You know what I mean? It's a very, yeah, it's a double-edged sword, right?
That's,
Right?
yeah. Like it's funny you say that because the reason I stopped talking for 2 years is because
Uh-huh.
I burned my classroom. I burned it down, but I didn't. I accidentally, like, I wasn't trying to do that. But the
Yeah.
fact that people were saying he did it on purpose, he was trying to, and I was like, no,
Oh.
it was an accident. It was really an accident, and no one believed me. Everyone was like, no. The only one that believed me was my mother. That's the only one that I talked to. I didn't talk to no one else but my mother because everyone judged me, and then I know I shouldn't be playing with fire. I know that, but I wasn't trying to burn the fucking classroom. You know what I mean? It just happened. It's not like I was trying to. It just happened, and everyone, because they knew I was always one thing too. I was one of the smartest kids at school. I was one of the smartest kids at school. I was the smartest guy, the one of the smartest for sure. And people will hate that because I was a fucking, you know what I mean, this kid that gets in trouble every day. He doesn't listen. But when it was time to like do test, I was always one of the first ones for whatever. I mean, if you ask me how, I don't know, man. I was like, I don't know. I was just they give me the test, and I would always feel like the test was easy. So that's why I didn't even worry about doing homework or paying attention in class because for whatever reason, test was easy for me. You know what I mean? And exactly what you say. Sometimes you have this fire where you have so much energy that you just don't know what to do with it, and you get in trouble because of that too. You know what I mean? You get in trouble even at adult age, man. I mean, I got in shit when I'm like, how the fuck did I get into this? You know what I mean? And it's sometimes it's too late when you and exactly what you say with people that go to jail and things like that. It's exactly that because sometimes you just have so much energy that you don't even know what to do with it. You know?
Yeah, and you also touched on that intelligence. A lot of reason why the students that I've experienced, I mean, the intelligence is there, right? And they don't feel challenged. They don't feel challenged.
No,
So
no.
why pay attention? It's like, dude, I've
Yes.
I've already been there. That what you're
Yes.
teaching right now, I already passed that like 5 hours ago.
Yes.
You're wasting my time. You know what I mean? Now let me think of a way I can disrupt this class. You know what I mean? So this thing starts happening. So when you say that, it resonates with me, and I'm like, wow. I remember this one kid. He used to do this too. Oh, this is because he's feeling what you're feeling, and you are like a testament to what he's feeling, and you're talking about it right now, and it's just amazing how we're bouncing our experiences. Even though we're coming from opposite ends of the spectrum, we are
Hmm.
also we are experiencing we've had experience we've I had experience of the same topic, and it's just amazing, man. So
You know,
now, yeah,
let me
go
tell
ahead.
you. You know what? When I saw you the first time and you of
Yeah,
MMA,
yeah.
I was like, "Fuck, that motherfucker's scary." You know what I mean? I was like, "That motherfucker's scary." But I mean, nothing personal. But I was like, "But I'm gonna fucking fight that guy one day." You know what I mean? It's like, I saw you, dude. I was backstage and I fucking saw you, and I'm like, "Fuck, that fool's scary. That motherfucker's scary, dude." Like, you were so fucking muscular and fucking ripped and fucking. I was like, "Damn, dude." But that's exactly how we are. People my condition, something that we're scared of. We try to fucking see if we can beat it. Most people are like, "I'm not even gonna get close to that." Same thing like what you say about fire. We see fire and then we're gonna try to touch it, even knowing that we're gonna get burned, but we still want to
Yeah,
touch it. You know what I mean? That's I
yeah,
just want to mention
yeah,
that, dude. That's why I remember you, dude, because I do look up to you a lot. I was looking up because yeah, I have no fucking filter, dude. If I feel something, I'm gonna fucking say it. And most people
yeah.
get offended, like most people get offended by the way it's like when I say like even like right now, I'm dealing with people that I went to like they're like architects, engineers, and things like that, right? And literally, dude, I'm just talking out of my ass. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking on my head. But then it turns on that the shit that I say, it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Hey. What you're describing is a feeling, man. Hey, you are describing right now something that I like to call free flow. In fighting, people who are able to take from all aspects of martial arts and put it together and use that particular tool to win a match are people who are able to access free flow. Some people, actually, most people can get into flow state, right? But I believe that there's another level. There's another level because sometimes if you don't have the tools, you cannot access free flow. You cannot, I mean, if it takes kicking to win a match and you're just a boxer, guess what? You're not going to access free flow. If it takes wrestling to win a match and you don't have wrestling, guess what? You're not going to access free flow. So people who have a higher probability of winning a match with different tools are those who are eligible to access free flow. And you are doing this in business. You don't know how you're doing it,
Yeah.
but you're doing it. You are accessing free flow in business. People
Yeah.
go to college and they become engineers and they study for years and years and years, and you're just doing it.
Yes.
You didn't even do it. You're just doing it. It's God
Yes.
given, man. It's God
Yeah.
given. That energy, man. You're able to tap into it, and what takes some people 10 years to build, you are able to tap into that energy, and boom,
Yeah.
create something special. Yeah, you
Yeah.
say, "I'm talking out of my ass" to quote you, but you're really not talking out of your ass, man. You are taking energy from the universe. You're taking energy from the universe, you're taking knowledge from the universe, and then you are channeling that through your body, and it's coming out as skill. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And when you're talking to these executives or whatever, it makes sense to them. It makes sense
Yes.
to them. You know what I mean? You might not be using big words that they're
No.
using,
Yeah.
but you are explaining yourself in such a way that they understand because it makes perfect sense to them. And this is what they studied their entire life. So of course it makes perfect sense. So shout out to you, man, for this gift. This is a God-given gift, man. God-given. God has blessed you in such a way that man cannot describe and man cannot explain. But as long as you keep doing your thing and you keep taking that energy and you keep using it for positive, you know what I mean? Sky's the limit for you, man. Sky's the limit. That right there, you said earlier, you said I haven't made it yet, but in my book, being able to harness that fire and use it for success, that's truly making it. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I have more questions for you, man. You're a very intriguing fella. So now, may event or something like that. Who did you go with to this U of MMA show with? The
Uh,
first one that got you into MMA.
well, I'm by myself in this country since I got here. I got no family. There's no a
What?
cousin. There's no one. There's
Wow.
no one. There's no one. And I feel like my life has been. I was always. I think that the reason people call me Sancho is because I was kind of always around girls, but it wasn't really because I want to be around girls. I just didn't have anyone to be around. You know what I mean? So it was with a girl. It was with a girl. It
That's
was
what's
with.
up.
Yeah, it
So
was.
now you're at this show, and the so now you're at this show, and the performance that you're witnessing is blowing your mind. First of all, speaking of the performance, the production that Tori and Jay Tan provided, I have to admit, man, that was my that was a highlight of my MMA career as well, man. As
Yeah,
an amateur, to be treated, to be put on such a stage on a pedestal like that, I owe those guys so much. They have no idea what they did for me, man. I so appreciate the opportunity that they gave me for to do what I, you know what I mean, what I love. And shout out to Jay Tan and shout out to Turi, man. Those two guys, they're special folks, man.
yeah.
And the production, they treated you like professionals in the
Like
back.
professional.
They treated us like pro fighters, man. I felt like a
Yes,
professional fighter, even though I
yes.
was an amateur. I felt like a professional fighter. The whole thing was so organized. The referees, the cast, the supporting cast, the camera people. That's why I always make it a point to thank everybody at my post fight speech. I just felt like I felt special. They made me feel special, man.
They
What's
make
your
they make
experience like?
they make you feel like you're the shit. They do make you feel that way. They
Yeah.
make you feel like I always. A lot of people tells me like, oh, you think you're the shit, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I think I'm the shit. If I don't think I'm the shit,
Yeah.
who the fuck is gonna think I'm the shit? I have to think I'm the shit. If you don't think you're the
Yes.
shit, that's your fucking problem. And I hear that from Tan from what was his name? The short
J-Town?
yeah,
J-Town?
Jake. He said that, but he wasn't saying it to me. He was saying it to someone else. He said, you gotta feel you're the shit, man. If you don't feel you're the shit, who you think people are
Yeah.
gonna come and tell you you're this shit? No, you gotta think you're this shit. Since that fucking day, I was like, oh, you shouldn't fucking say that around me, because that's been my fucking mentality since then. And like I said, like
Hey.
it's very important that, like honestly, my success as far as business, which like I said, I wouldn't call it success, but just I'm hanging there. It's literally based on my fighting experience, man. I swear to God, even the way I talk to people on business, I kind of intimidate them, but not because I'm trying to like be rude to them or anything like that. But I honestly, once I get to a meeting, dude, I'm confident. I'm just like, I just got a big project in San Francisco, dude. That it's a huge project, and even the owner didn't want to give it to me because they just felt that it's literally something that is outside my box, something that I have never done in my life. And it's not like a small project that they give to, okay, well, let's give a try to this guy. It's a small thing. No, it's a huge project. And I only feel the reason they give it to me, I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, is I think it's because the confidence that I got from my experience of fighting. If I would never fight you, that's why I would say, when people say, "Oh, boxing saved my life," "Oh, MMA saved my life," literally, do fucking MMA made me who I am. Without MMA, I don't even know what the fuck I would be doing, dude. MMA made me the person that I am today.
It
That's
gave
why
you
I'm such a
structure.
like fighting to me is like I think I'll keep fighting till like I can fucking keep doing it anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's something that like this year has been crazy, man. I just need to fucking fight. You know what I mean? I need to fight.
I totally get you. Totally get you, man. I totally get you 100%. Every time I sound on that dotted line, man, I look forward to the training camp, to cutting weight or eating healthy, to going to PG to train with Brian Pearson, girl boxing. You know what I mean? Just the process. I love the process, man. The one thing that I didn't like was when that cage door closed, man,
Hey,
and it goes. You hear the metal hits metal, and then you can hear them locking it, and then you're like, oh no, this guy's gonna come hurt me, man. Oh
yes,
man,
yes.
let me out of here.
Hey,
Yeah.
few people say that. Few people admit that. I'm like, no, dude. When people like, hey, don't worry, you got this. You're gonna knock him out. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know, motherfucker? Like, the motherfucker trained too. How the fuck you know he's not gonna knock me out? You know what I mean? You got this, and then like, oh, they size the guy. Ah, that guy's smaller than you. I'm like, dude, the fucking size don't fucking matter, dude. Well, you know what I mean? It's like those things that you're saying. Few people said. I always say, I'm scared as fuck, dude. Like, I mean, don't even when I finish the fight, sometimes I'm done and I'm okay. Well, this is done. Okay, I gotta relax now because I'm still scared, dude. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's that's why, like I said, it's for my life. Fighting makes me. It's such a big part of my life, dude. I just it challenged me. It makes me feel scared. It makes me feel insecure about myself. It makes me feel weak. It makes me feel, huh? Yeah, it humbles me a lot because, like I said, I'm very. A lot of people, once people get to know me, they know that I'm not cocky. But once you don't know me, then I kind of like look like it. You know what I mean? I kind of people think I'm like that, but I'm not. I'm just because I'm just confident. I'm just confident the way I talk, the way I speak, the way I move, the way everything I do. I try to do it with confidence, and it's
That's right.
because of
That's
fighting.
right.
It's because of fighting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, if I've been able to fucking lock myself with a fucking monster that trained to kill me, because let's be honest, we don't train to hurt the other person. We train to kill the other motherfucker,
To
because that's
finish.
gonna be
Yeah.
that's gonna be the easiest way out.
Mm-hmm.
Being
Mm-hmm.
and that's not gonna happen because there's a third person there. This will stop
Mm-hmm.
that. So there's
Mm-hmm.
not that's not gonna happen. But everyone trains to kill. But that's why it's professional or amateur sport, because we have a third person that will never let you do that. The
Yes.
third person
Yes.
there is to take care of you. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
always say, like, fighting is it's just, to me, if you don't know how to fight as a man, what the fuck are you doing as a man, dude? If
Mm-hmm.
you're a man and don't know how to fight, I just don't understand, man. I don't see myself not knowing how to defend myself. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. I once heard, I can't remember the name of the I can't remember the name of this warrior, but a warrior once said what you just described. He said that a man that lives an entire life and never learned to defend himself has lived a wasted life.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly the same thing you just. I just can't remember who said it, but it was a warrior for a fact. So there you go. So now let me continue on the timeline, right? So now you went to the U of MMA event. It was exciting to you. You found CMMA. Now you with CMMA. You with Chad George. Did I get his name right? Chad George, right?
Yeah, George. Yes.
Yeah. So now you with Chad George. How far training with Chad George before you actually did your first mixed martial arts fight?
How far? Sorry.
How far after you started training with Chad George did you actually do your first MMA fight?
Uh I think it's like a month after. Yeah.
You're my carrot.
Chad has put out a lot with me, dude, because I wouldn't even fucking tell him. We like, oh, I'm fighting in 2 weeks. He like, what? What do you mean you fight in 2 weeks? I was just like, yeah, dude. Even when I did my pro debut, he didn't know until like that week. I mean that, and he has kicked out people out of the gym because of that. I just know he loves me. That's why he does it. But he has put up with me a lot.
Hey man, with the kind of energy that you bring to the table, that kill or be kill attitude, you know what I'm saying? What coach wouldn't like that? You know what I mean? It's hard to teach that. Not to
Yeah.
talk about someone who comes to the gym with that. You want to keep that. That's the kind of,
Yes.
you know, like I work at a Taekwondo spot. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest to the world and tell the truth. I used to cater to everyone. I used to be like, oh, this person is coming in. You know, I teach them as much as I can, and then they don't come back, and then they don't come back, and that really hurts me really bad.
Mhm.
Done is when they come in, I treat them like anyone, man. I'd be like, okay, you're coming in, all right. 1,000 kick,
Yeah.
1,000 push up. You know what I mean? I try and put them in an uncomfortable situation right away. And when I put them in that situation and they stay after that, then I know this is somebody I can actually put my energy into. You know what I mean? Because when they will come and then they will leave, and it's like you didn't even appreciate the energy that I put into it, the knowledge that I gave you. You know what I mean? You just left just like that. You didn't even say bye. So you know
Yes.
what? What I'm gonna do from now on, I'm gonna give you such a hard time when you first come in. If you stay, then I know you are worth my time. And that's
Yes.
what I started doing, man.
That's exactly
That's what I
how
started
that,
doing.
and it's so crazy. That's why like maybe we have that kind of connection because we think alike a lot. Chad George is that type of person. If you pay attention to that fucker, you and going over and over and over and over. But the moment he feels you're not fucking making it like making it like worth,
Mm-hmm.
he stops. You know what I mean? But that guy, that's why. I mean, I started with him when he was barely starting on CMMA, and now you
Mm-hmm.
see the gym, dude. That shit is fucking full of people. We have
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of fucking fighters, a bunch of fucking talent, and it's incredible what he has achieved with the gym because of his energy. That's it. Because of the way the heart and soul that he puts into the gym, dude. It's like that's why to me it was I don't see myself. I'll be CMMA until I fucking retire or until I fucking die. I just don't see, and I have nothing against other gyms, but I'm like every time I see another gym, like on my head, like hey, that's a fucking enemy. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
he's not, but that's
I
just
get
to
it.
me is like that's a fucking enemy. Like I never understood when guys switch gyms. To me, that's very fucking shady, dude. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
how can you do that? I mean, because it comes from the martial arts. We're the modern
Mm-hmm.
warriors. We're getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, right now they don't let use fucking knives and shit like that. But back
Mm-hmm.
in the days, it was the same shit. They were
Mm-hmm.
trying to hurt each other, and then it's like to me, it's like the way whatever energy you put into it, you'll get that back. You'll get that back. If you don't put enough energy, positive energy onto the things that you want, if you do that, you're gonna get that back. Maybe in a smaller scale, maybe in a big scale, you never know, but you always get it back. You know what I mean? I always feel um like I just got back with my girlfriend from 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I always knew I was gonna get her back. I didn't know when, but I knew I was gonna get her back, and it happened. So it's like that, and that to me was like I know it. That to me was the kind of thing that told me, yeah, as long as you put that fucking energy to it,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to happen.
That's
It's
right.
going to happen. It's just
That's right.
put it, put it the fucking energy, and you'll get that back.
Mm. That's what's up. That's fantastic, man. Woo. And now I want dive into your actual fight career, because there's a couple of people that you fought that I've also fought, actually, that I train with. So the first person that I'm looking at, okay, you fought Chase Gibson, Philip Alvarez, and then I've got Sergio Perez. Sergio Perez was the very last person that I fought.
I fuck him
I
up,
fought him
dude.
at I fought it's the
I
XF. I
fuck
fought
him
him at
up. I fuck him up, dude. I have never beat a guy that bad. And that was a fucking amateur, dude. If you give me that guy 5 minutes, I will I fuck him up, dude. That's honestly, I fucking heard that guy.
Hey man, he wrestled the shit out of me, bro. Hey, hey man, he did something to me that I have never experienced before. When he shot, he didn't come for my legs. He went for my ankles, bro. Shot for my ankles, and I didn't know how to react to that. I couldn't adjust to that. He just kept shooting for my ankles. I'm like, what the? Like, he just disappeared, man. Like, like, because he's so low, I can't knee him in the head. The timing, I couldn't get that timing to hit him with that knee on his way down. But he's on his knee, and I can't knee him, and he's grabbing my ankle, and then he's coming up like you put on your sock. He's coming up my leg, and then boom, he's got my leg, and then, oh man!
Mm-hmm.
Before I could get back up, it was just crazy, man. But the kid, he's all right. He's all right. His wrestling is superb. I'll give it to
Yeah,
him.
his wrestling is good. He is
His wrestling is
strong.
very
Strong
good.
kid. He's strong.
Yes,
He's strong.
yes, most definitely. And then you fought Jimmy Uribe, Robert Hernandez, Antonio Vasquez, and then my boy Ryan Lilly. Ryan Lilly. First, you fought him at the U of MMA,
Yeah.
and then you fought him later on. But we'll get to that. So, your first match with Ryan, what was it like for you, man? I remember you guys were bleeding. I was like, damn, these dudes are going at it, man. Blood everywhere, man. It was sick.
I mean, Ryan Lilly it's a guy that I have respect for him. He's a guy that I'll fuck him up again, but I have no hard feelings towards him.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
I really, as personally, I don't dislike the guy at all. I think he's a cool dude. I respect him a lot. But inside the cage, I honestly felt the first fight, I thought I won the fight. I mean, I on my head, I won the fight. What the fuck did I lose the fight? You know what I mean? And I said to him, if I got you on the pros, I'm gonna beat you up. I know I am. What?
That's what's up. And then after Ryan, you fought Antonio Lopez. I also fought Antonio Lopez. You hit him with the rear naked choke.
Yes.
You beat him after I beat him.
Yes. Yeah. No, yeah. I remember because we used to call you the Black Beast. And I was like, who he fought? He's like, oh, he fought the fucking Black Beast, the fucking dude from forgot your gym. And I said, that fool beat him. I beat him, dude. Not because fucking down on you, but I was like, he honestly, when I fought Antonio Lopez, dude,
Yeah.
and I'm good at that. I didn't see him confident. I beat him on the weigh-ins. I beat him because he fought you, and you were fighting at what weight class? You were fighting 155.
155.
Yes. So he went down to 45, thinking that he's gonna fight smaller guys. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm a big 45. You know what I mean? So I have chicken legs, but my upper body is it's big for the weight class. So I remember he came down from fighting you. I remember that exactly. And then I say, it's because he fucked that guy, and that guy is huge. So he's coming down, but he has never seen me in person. And I actually worked out a lot for that fight. I was trying to have size on it. And because I knew once I see a guy coming down in weight class, I know he's scared of size right away. Once I saw him on the weigh-ins, I said, it's done.
Got him.
That's done. He's done. He's not gonna make it. The first round, I choke him out.
Yep. Most definitely. 1 minute and 22 seconds, man.
Yes.
Straight up. And then you were supposed to compete against Leon Shabazian That one fell out in 2016. Johnny Munoz was supposed to be your first pro fight, but that one fell out. And then you fought another one of my boys, Jose Froggy Estrada, Combate 5.
I
And
got
then you went, huh?
I got my ass knocked out by him. But like I say, they offered me the fight in 5 days notice against a
Mm.
50 fighter, dude. I was 153 the day of the weigh.
Oh, shit.
Chad was mad as fuck, dude. Chad was super fuck. He almost kicked me out of the gym. He was like, "Why would you fight that guy?" But honestly, on my head, I thought I was gonna
He's a
beat Frog.
man.
I thought I was gonna beat him. I honestly didn't. I honestly felt I was doing good until I got caught with the punch. But
Mm.
for the size advantage and the 5 days notice, I was doing good, man. I didn't feel like I was doing. I thought I was doing good. It's just the weight class they make an impact because he was like
Yes, yes.
175 and I was 154, 155 the day of the fight, which is my responsibility. I mean, he did his
Mhm,
part. Nothing
mhm,
to take away from the guy. He
mhm,
knocked
mhm,
me out clean and good, but
mhm,
he never wanted to fight me at 45. He went down to 45 and I
mhm,
called him up 3 times. I
mhm,
got the direct message on Instagram saying, "Hey, dude,
mhm.
I give you
What's
one
up?
at 55, come," and he just ignored me.
Yeah, Froggy, man. Hey, I've been down to the gym, to do like a quick Saturday training. He's a strong
Strong,
mother, man. That dude is
strong,
strong,
strong.
man. What a monster,
He's
man.
good.
He's like compact. He's like the Juggernaut.
Yes,
Like the
yes,
Juggernaut from X-Men. He's
yeah.
compact, just full of power, man. Yeah,
Strong,
interesting fella. Yeah.
strong
And
guy.
then you fought Class 8, you fought Ryan Lilly again, and you got your
Yes.
W finally. And then you got in there with Michael Jackson. I also fought Michael Jackson at the U of MMA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you got him with they called it the Meryl Streep show. No, no, no. CXF, the Meryl Streep showcase. You hit him
Yeah.
with that rolling heel hook. That
Yes.
rolling, what did you call that? What's that thing
Eminari
called?
roll.
Eminari road to the heel hook, man. That was pretty, man. That
Yeah.
was pretty. And then you fought Kyle Phillips, Alberto Montez, Julian Baez, another one guy that I trained with, and then you fought AJ Agazam. That fight right there was fantastic, man. You were in your element in that fight. I thoroughly enjoyed you whooping his ass. Hey man, I that was one of my favorite fights of yours because you did not give a damn whose friend he was. Because just because you're friends with the Diaz brothers don't mean the
No mean
Diaz brothers
shit.
are gonna help you fight. They're not gonna help you fight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You went in there and you did your thing. You clowned them. You
Mm-hmm.
went in there and you clowned them. You were in free flow.
Yeah.
I believe you were in free flow that day. You know what I mean? He just happens to be a very good jujitsu guy, so he holds you a lot, holds you down. But when you were free to move, man, you were doing your thing, man. I thoroughly enjoyed that matchup. Your first Bellator matchup, man. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, that was a good fight. That was a good fight for I learned and then after that fight, dude, like I say, I learned a lot on my head.
Hmm.
Because after that fight, I went to do the jiu-jitsu tournaments. I think it was IBJJ
Yeah.
with no fucking training. I went in there and I told Chad, I'm getting gold on my weight class and I'm getting gold on absolute. And I said, okay. I said, there's no fucking way these guys will beat me. No way. I said, there's no way they have compete on the stage that I had. No way they're able to deal. There's no way they're gonna fucking not not let not. There's no way I'm not gonna beat these guys. So I went in there, beat 4 guys, submitted all of them, went to the absolute, beat 2 guys, and went to the distance with one and beat him like a 235-pound Samoan motherfucker, big guy, and I won like the gold. But it's because of the mental part that I learned from being in Bellator and fighting such a big name on jiu-jitsu and all that. That's kind of like that's what I'm saying. Like fighting is about here. if you have it here, dude, they're all humans like us, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking
Mm-hmm.
about AJ, he was this, he was that, but honestly, there's guys at the gym that are better than him at my gym.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it was mostly the fact that I didn't know that I have better guys, and that's what like now it's like we're all humans. Whoever,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you put in front of me, I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to fucking knock him out or submit him,
That's
no
right.
matter what who
That's
you
right.
are. When I fought
Yeah.
Kyler Phillips, it's a really good guy that is like black belt and so many fucking things and stage.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm almost finishing him on the first round, and he has said it to me himself.
Mm-hmm.
I've been
Mm-hmm.
the toughest fight on his career, besides Victor
Mm-hmm.
Henry. Victor Henry put it on him, but when Victor Henry fought him, I knew Victor was gonna beat him because I already fought the guy. So I said, no, I
Mm-hmm.
know he doesn't have what Victor does. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like it was a good experience on Bellator, man. It was a good fight that I enjoy, and then it gave me a lot. It gave me a good exposure up there. You know, a lot of people that see me like they'll give me credit for it, and I'm like it's like I said, it's to me, dude. By me fighting there, dude, it's honestly I only want to do one amateur fight. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
My dream
Mm-hmm.
was to fight in the UFMA one time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. So now all of a sudden I'm fighting on Bellator, and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? What it went like, and that's what I'm telling you. There's things that I don't know how I was able to push. Like I tell you, I don't have family here. I don't have, you know what I mean. I don't have the family support that you need, man. That at that time, I don't know why I never feel like I need it, but I just never stop or take a second to think that I need it until now. It's like, oh fuck, dude, I've been on this country for so long on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. I mean, I grow up as a person and as a man and all that. So it's a win-win for me, you know.
Now we come to the part where I feel is most important. You know, so you said you have a business sign, a business creating signs, right? So how did you manifest that business? I mean, how did you know you have this ability to create signs? You know what I'm saying? I mean, how did that one come about for you?
Well, science was my first job on this country.
Mm,
Science was my first job on this country, and I honestly fell in love with the industry. The to me, putting light to metal is literally giving life to it, or putting light to anything is just it kind of science fits very well into my persona, the way I think, the way I am. So pretty much science has been my kind of my thing, you know, for a long time. Like as I did my own sign for my first gym. It was a
yes,
beautiful
you
big
said that.
sign. It was a beautiful
Mm,
big sign that I did on my own in a garage with the fucking scissors and a jigsaw and glue, and I painted on my like. So I feel like to me signage was way too simple to not try. You know what I mean?
mm,
All of a sudden I'm making things for Apple, for Beats, for fucking Facebook, for
mm,
people that I never even thought I was gonna be able to, and just all of a sudden I was part of. We did this project for Facebook, which it was a huge project for me, which wasn't
mm,
one that kind of like give me the experience and the money and everything to have my own thing.
mm,
But I was part of a group of engineers, architects, and all that. So I was just like I was terrified. You know, I was like I'm gonna lie and say that I went to school in Mexico and this and that. And the day that we have to present ourselves, who I was, what I went to school for, and all that, everybody was saying, "My name is blah blah blah. I went to the University of blah blah blah, and I graduated from this and that." And I was like, "Fuck." Dude. So when it was my turn, I was like, "Well, my name is Johnny, and I didn't go to school. You know, I don't know what I'm doing here." I said, "They just told me that I got to be a part of you guys, so I'm here to learn." And that part of me being humble was what they took me under their wing, and they taught me
mm,
a lot, man, a lot.
mm,
Those 3 months that I was with those people, they literally, I learned things that I would never. There was no way I was gonna learn on my own, you know. So
mm,
that's kind of where, like I said, that again, that driving that I have is just what. I don't know, that people appreciate that. People knows that
Mm,
if I'm around, they know I'm gonna try to do my best, whether I know or I don't. But I'm just gonna
mm.
try to do the best I can, you know.
That's right. That's right. That's fantastic, man. So now your business is doing this thing. You are doing your thing. What advice would you give, say, a young fighter, up and coming fighter? First of all, before we even go to the advice, do you have a manager? Do you do the manager thing?
I'm sorry.
Before we even go to advising, giving advice to new fighters, the question I wanted to ask you was, do you have a manager? Do you have a
Yes.
manager? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I do.
okay,
It's upgrade.
who?
Julian. It's Julian with upgrade.
Okay, okay,
The one that
okay,
has
cool, okay.
Brian Ortega too on his.
I see. Okay, cool, cool. So now, being an entrepreneur slash fighter, what advice would you give up and coming fight? Like I have a problem with when someone says I'm just a fighter. Like, why would you just be a fighter? There's more to life than that. Fighting is great. Don't get me wrong. I love fighting, but there's got to be something else. See, the window for fighting is this big.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Small.
Once you pass that window, it's over.
Over.
It's over. So, what are you gonna do then? Like, what advice do you have for an like someone who is thinking about fighting, who is fighting currently, up and coming? What advice would you give them?
Well, the advice that I wish someone would have give to me is that always respect the sport. Don't think
Mm,
that because you reach certain level or you have beat certain guys or you feel you're in a level where you feel you're like invincible. Don't let that get to your head because that's what affect my fighting career. I honestly believe and still believe I can beat a lot of guys on the top leagues. I just lost that window. Get me? Like that window where I'm still can compete. But talking about, I feel I would have done way better if I would have been a little bit more humble with myself. You know what I mean? So I think being humble to yourself and being honest to yourself is the best thing you can do. Don't lie to yourself. When you're
mm,
scared, tell yourself that you're scared. When you're not good at something, tell yourself you're not good at that. But don't
mm,
talk about it because people talk about it and they feel better by talking about it. No, I talk to myself a lot. Talk to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Things that
mm,
you need to get better at, don't talk about it. Talk to yourself about it and do. As don't just talk. Just pretty much do it. But be honest with yourself. That's kind of the advice that I kind of like to put up there. Like people lie to themselves. You know what I mean?
mm,
Don't lie to yourself. Like don't if you're scared, you're scared. If you got beat up, don't say I got beat up because no, you got beat up because you got beat up. You know what I mean?
mm,
Don't try to look because of the short notice or this or that. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with
mm,
yourself and don't lose respect for the sport. If you're honest
mm,
with yourself and you don't lose the respect you need to have for the sport, you'll make it, man. You'll make. I have
mm,
seen people from the ground to like Daniel Rodriguez, the one that's like that guy, dude. I remember seeing him on the amateurs, and from there I knew that motherfucker was gonna make it, dude. Just because he's fucking, you know what I mean? His drive that he has, and now he's fighting
mm,
big names in the UFC, and I think that fucking guy will be on the contender champion uh, lines for I mean in the future for sure. And it's about because he has respect for the sport. He trains his ass off. He doesn't talk about it. He just acts about it. So it's that. I think that's what it is. Just
mm.
be humble, be honest, and respect the sport.
So from when you said be humble, what I gathered that you're saying, be honest with yourself. Say for example, my kicking sucks. I should be willing to tell myself that my kicking sucks so I can begin to search ways of improving my kicking. So now, because I know my kicking sucks, okay, I know I need to go learn some taekwondo kicks, some karate kicks, some Muay Thai kicks. find answers that will help solve my problems and put the energy and work necessary to fix that deficit. So is this what I gather from what you're saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
Fantastic, fantastic. Wow, man. Uh it's been an honor to have you on this show. I want to thank you for coming by. And I hope to do this again soon, man. I hope to do this again soon.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, man. I mean, thanks for the invite, and it was a pleasure, man, talking to you. And yep,
And by the way, before you go, where can people find you if they're looking for you?
Instagram. I mean, Johnny
Instagram.
Sancho Quiroz. I actually lost my account not too long ago, so I'm barely starting a new account I think this year or a year ago. I don't even remember. But yeah, no, Johnny Sancho Quiroz. That's you have seen my. I mean, I post nothing but stupid shit most of the time.
Hey man, hey, you might post quote unquote stupid shit, but you do your day-to-day activity, your day-to-day moves, you're about it. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Who gives a damn about what you post? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's about what you're doing. You know what I mean? Nobody cares about what you I mean, I don't care about what you post, but I do care about what you're doing. And you're making moves. And that's what it's all about, man. So keep up the good work, man. Keep representing, keep representing mixed martial arts in a good light. And sky's the limit, man. I want to congratulate you on your success as a man. As a man, I want to congratulate you on your success and keep pushing, man. Keep hammering, like Cameron Hames would say. Keep hammering. And thank you for being on this show once again. And I hope to see you again soon, brother.
thank you so much, bro, for the invite, and I hope to see you soon too, bro.
Most definitely, man. Take care of yourself, man.
Take care, brother. Bye.
All right.